at Corey Choll's paintings and you're transported to the savannas of South Sudan. Once a lost boy, Corey has found a home in Iowa. He's now in his 30s, an American citizen, a husband, father of 5, and employed full-time. But his passion is painting village scenes of his homeland. Does it make you miss your home?
A lot, yeah.
Does it help?
It helped. Yeah.
Corey lived in refugee camps in Ethiopia, Kenya, and forest land in between for more than 10 years before he came to America, and eventually Iowa, where he had family and friends, and a sponsor through Lutheran Social Services, Tim Moline. Tim and his family have sponsored other lost boys since 2001. He met Corey in 2003.
He came to our church, and he painted the pastor and his wife, just from a photograph, and it was a lot of natural talent. And I said, wow, you've got some natural talent. So set him up with a few art classes, but it's just basically his talent that was there. And so I bought a piece of his and said, now you're a professional.
From there, Tim says Corey just blossomed and paints with a passion village scenes of 2 tribes, their clothing, everyday life scenes, and wildlife. Each has a story to tell.
I paint from memory. I don't take photographs. I like painting a lot because when I paint, I feel like I'm doing something that will be valuable in the future.
Corey went back to visit South Sudan 2 years ago and thought he had a buyer for this series of 12 paintings, but war broke out again in 2013, so he rolled up the canvases and returned to Iowa.
I like the state of Iowa. Very small state. Nobody have a problem with anybody.
He continues to paint from memory with hopes of one day opening his own gallery here in Iowa, instead of this office borrowed to show us his work.
Yes. This is my dream, but dream not, I don't know, there's something, the dream may come true in one day that I will have a big store, like, you know, if I get where I can own my own store, do my painting as a full-time job, I will be very happy with that.
For Tim, watching Corey's dream come true would be just one more goal his Lost Boys have achieved throughout the years.
It has really been a blessing on our lives to be associated with the boys, because you learn a whole lot. Actually, a couple of years ago, one of the boys, Agak Menyang, and I wrote a book called The Phoenix of South Sudan, which tells their struggle when they walked about 500 miles to the refugee camp in Ethiopia, another 500 miles back to Kakuma. So it's quite a journey with these lost boys and what they've struggled, what they've endured. And it's really an interesting, challenging story, and it makes, I think, makes all of us feel, you know, very grateful for what we have.
For KCCI, I'm Molly Cooney in the Artist Studio.
And if you would like to learn more about Corey or his artwork, you can email Tim at tmoline100@aol.com.